Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So a lot of you have asked me, now that the year is coming to a close, how I feel about my low buy year and if I'm going to continue to pursue this low buy year sort of lifestyle and mentality. The short answer is yes, but this video is going to be my long answer. A lot of you guys come to me with questions asking how I do this, how to stay motivated, if you should do a low buy or not. The only thing I can really tell you with certainty is that the decision to do my low buy year has changed my life. My low buy is no longer a year-long challenge that I tried to assign myself to. Now it's a way of life. This low buy has just really changed how I look at stuff, how I look at coveting for things, how I look at myself and my own self-worth, and how I look at my financial picture and my financial future. If you're interested in finding out how a low buy year has changed my life and how it could potentially change yours, then keep on watching. The first way my no buy year changed my life was that I was able to prove to myself that I could actually do it. For the first part of 2019, for the first 3 or 4 months, I assigned myself to a strict no buy, where I didn't buy anything that was not considered a necessity, a need, and I completely banned myself from any wants. And that actually turned out to be a quite powerful shopping detox. I had to reevaluate how I spent my time. I had to come up with other ways to address my boredom and my stress and face my emotions head on that I used to suppress and replace with a constant hit of shopping and spending. I had to reevaluate my financial habits and my spending. I had to come to terms with quite a few realities within that shopping detox, and by completely taking away that crutch that I had in shopping and spending money on frivolities and impulse purchases, I had to really face a lot of my stresses, demons, insecurities, financial missteps, and financial irresponsibilities. I had to face all of that head on because there was no longer the act of shopping and purchasing wants and impulse purchases in the way of me facing my own reality. Sometimes when I am facing an extreme problem, I need to come up with a solution that is just as extreme. I went from that person who spent their time shopping and spent their downtime at the mall, the person who was treating herself all the time, either for successes or for failures, to a person who was doing none of that. I had to face my insecurities, face my emotions, and face the reality of what I had done in terms of ignoring how to deal with my emotions and issues and insecurities, and ignoring how to deal with my finances responsibly and face the world that I had created for myself. So that detox really opened my eyes, and it was something that I needed in order to move forward. And the fact that I actually did it proved to myself that I could keep going. If how I was sounds like you now, or sounds like a you that you want to be working on, then maybe a straight up detox, going cold turkey, is one of the best ways to try. And the fact that I could stick to it means that you can stick to it too, and that you can do it. The second way my low buy year changed my life was that it saved my financial future. I was certainly somebody who definitely had too much month left at the end of the money. I spent money every single day, whether it be on food, on clothes, on makeup, on skincare, on crap. I am a spender, not a saver, and I never created a real budget and never stuck to a real budget until I started this low buy. The budget has saved my financial life, and it has saved my financial future. I do not do anything or buy anything without first consulting my budget. And if I really want something, I'm either creating a sinking fund for it, I'm budgeting for it in the month coming up, or I'm moving around some money that I may have left over or that I may not necessarily have spent in my budget in order to accommodate the new thing that I may need or may want. If you will take anything away from any how to stop shopping video I've ever done, for any low buy video I've ever done, is that you have to create a budget. You cannot do this without knowing where your money is going and without telling your money where to go. If you want to know more about how I budget, I will have a video coming out about that very soon, but I use the Every Dollar app by Dave Ramsey, and if you need to learn how to budget, just check out the description down below. I'll have all the information there. Everything I learned about budgeting was from Dave Ramsey, and I use all of his tools. They work really well for me. It's a zero-based budgeting method, and so far it has really helped me take control of my money and tell it where to go and always know where it's going, and it's helped me really push my debt repayment journey along insanely well. So my low buy year forced me to create a budget, and it's something that I will never stop doing. And before I budgeted, I was always extremely anxious and terrified of staring at my credit card statements, at looking at my savings account, at looking at my checking account, and wondering where all that money went. And I was getting so sick and tired of working 40 hours a week, coming home exhausted, and having nothing to show for it. And that's because I didn't know where my money was going. I knew that I was spending it, but I never did the simple math. The budget forces you to do the math, and it forces you to see where your money is going, and it forces you to tell your money where to go. I can tell you that nothing has felt more empowering than feeling like I have control of my money and knowing that I have control of my money, because I make the choices and I tell everything where to go. And it doesn't matter what income level you are, as soon as you take control of your money, you'll feel so much more at ease and so much stronger and so much more ready to win. The third way my low buy year has changed my life is that it has changed the way I shop. I went from a complete impulse buyer, impulse spender, emotional spender. I would spend when I was happy, I would spend when I was sad, I would shop when I was stressed, I would spend money on the toilet, I would think about what to buy as I was walking to and from places. I was shopping and spending money constantly. I never paused. I never asked myself any questions on whether or not I needed the item. I never thought about what I already had. But overall, I spend a lot less emotionally now, and everything I spend my money on is with intention and with thought. I shop with lists at the grocery store. I will budget for takeout if I want it. If I want a piece of clothing, then I'm thinking about it for quite some time before I make the purchase. If I want to buy new camera gear, I create sinking funds in order to save up the money to invest in creating videos for you guys and invest in my creativity. Whereas before, I would have just bought it because I wanted it and I saw it and I had to have it then and there and I couldn't wait. So my low buy has made me a better shopper, a better spender, and a better saver. The fourth way that my low buy year has changed my life is that it finally put me down a path of becoming financially free. I essentially ignored my student loan debt. It was a six-figure student loan debt, and I will be debt-free by the end of 2020 if all goes well and my budgeting goes according to plan. So I went from someone who paid the minimum payments, ignored my debt, and thought that I would just be miraculously debt-free without having a plan, all the while continuing to spend every single dollar that I had on crap. My decision to start my low buy year was twofold. One, it was to address my emotional attachment and need for stuff and the inadequacy I felt by not having certain things and that keeping up with the Joneses mentality. And the second tier of my low buy motivation was to get out of debt. I was so sick of blaming my student loan for not being where I wanted to be in life, when really it was my uncontrollable spending and my choices that put me in this position. Yes, I had student debt and I chose to create that debt, and I also chose to ignore it and spend my money on stuff. My low buy forced me to attack this problem and to start putting real money down on this loan to get it out of my life and for me to finally become financially free and be able to move on with my life. If I had not decided to do my low buy year, then I would just be in this headspace thinking that I was stuck and that I was meant to be in debt forever and that I would be in debt for the next 10 years and that was just gonna be normal and part of my life. And I really didn't want that, and I didn't want to believe that anymore. And the fact is it's true. You are not stuck. Every choice you make is yours, and you take control of your own direction that you take your life. Every purchase that I made in the past was a choice, and I decided to fulfill short-term wants and short-term emotions and needs instead of looking at the long term, when I still had this long-term plan in mind and this long-term vision of me, but I didn't know how to get there, and I just assumed that I would get there without having any plan. My low buy year essentially got me started in a plan to get to the me that I want and to create the life that I want and that I feel that I deserve. And guess what? You deserve the life that you want too, and you can achieve it. Whether it be financial, whether it be with shopping, whether it be with writing a book or creating something or quitting your job and starting your own business, you get to decide the direction of your life. It's the choices that you make and the actions that you do that get you there. I made certain choices that were not in my best interest, and I knew that, and now I've made choices to get myself out of there. Maybe your thing is not shopping. Maybe it's something else. Maybe there's some other issue or something else that you don't like about yourself or about your situation that you want to change. The truth of the matter is you are not stuck and you can do it. The fifth way that my low buy year has changed my life is that it changed, or at least started to change, the way I talk to myself. I'm still trying to adapt the way I talk to myself and try to speak more positively and use positive self-talk instead of negative self-talk, which I actually naturally tend to do in myself. My low buy really forced me to look within myself and find the reasons why I felt like I needed to spend all this money on stuff and why I felt I absolutely needed all the clothes and the shoes and the bags and the sunglasses and the makeup. There was something inside myself and something that I was feeding to try to make myself feel better. Instead of finding that solution within myself, I turned to shopping. My low buy year forced me to look inside myself, to start accepting myself, accepting who I was, and just to try to even find out who I was, who I want to be, and where I want to go. I changed my self-talk. I speak a lot more gently to myself now. I treat myself more gently. I work out. I eat better. I am happier and less stressed overall. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel in my debt. I can see my success and reaching my goals. I can see my financial freedom. And that's all because this work that I started to do on myself, within myself, is all because I decided to do this low buy year. So this low buy really has become about a lot more than just not shopping. If you decide to partake in a low buy or a no buy, I think you'll start unearthing all of these things about yourself, about your reality, and about how you got to where you are today, and also about where you want to take yourself in the future. The sixth way that my low buy has changed my life is that it just changed the way I spend my time. I used to shop out of boredom. I would shop to fill my time. I would shop as a hobby, as a form of recreation, as a way to be social, as something to do, but it was essentially shopping tied anything that I could do that was a distraction or something to make me happy was all revolving around shopping. So instead of spending my time to find ways to develop new skills, to build relationships and work on friendships, to work on my own self-development, I would just shop. I used shopping in two different ways. One, I used it to escape and get away from the things that I didn't want to face. And I also used it as a way to celebrate and as a way to enhance a joy that I happened to be feeling. So if I was out with friends and having a great time socially, I would say, oh wow, I'm like really happy, I'm gonna treat myself, or let's keep this feeling going, so I'm gonna go shopping. Or if I was feeling low and depressed and inadequate and not confident, then I would also shop in order to give myself a pick-me-up and elevate that. Even if I was on my own by myself, instead of being with my thoughts and with my feelings, or instead of taking the time to learn a new skill, work on my content creation, work on my photography, my video, read a book, work on my own self-care and self-development, or even do something as simple as just sitting still within my thoughts, I would use shopping instead. Now that I'm no longer shopping as a hobby or as a way to pass the time, I needed to fill my time with other things, and I actually found time to hone my skills, to learn about content creation, to learn about how to make videos and high quality videos, to learn how to edit. I got fitter. I started going to more workout classes, and from that, not only do I feel better, I feel stronger and I feel like I look better, but now I have a community of new friends that I made from all the fitness classes and working out that I'm doing. So when I took shopping out of my way that I spent the time, when I stopped making shopping a hobby, I found that there's this whole other world of things that I could do to spend the time that make me happy. They're challenging, it's difficult, but it's fun, it's rewarding, and it's creative. And there's no way I would have put this amount of time into these skills and hobbies and activities that I'm doing now had I still been shopping. So I think when you decide to shop less or stop shopping, you find this whole new world of opportunities and interests that you can pursue that can really be fulfilling for you and for others around you, especially if you get to create something that you're proud of. The seventh way that my low buy year has changed my life is that I finally found my voice. With my voice, I was able to share my story on YouTube here for you guys, and a lot of you have told me how inspired these videos have made you to try your own low buy or no buy year, to change your relationship with stuff, to shop less, and to explore what you have a little bit more rather than buying new stuff. And a lot of you have told me, and I'm so honored by this, that my videos have helped inspire you to do that. So this low buy has really helped me find my voice that way, but in other ways it's helped me figure out my sense of style. So instead of chasing trends and always wanting to keep up with the newest thing, I would stop myself from buying those things, and I learned that I probably really didn't want the new pieces in my closet anyways. I was able to find a lot of comfort and understanding in my own personal style just because I was using what I had, and anything that I brought in that was new, I was actually thinking about it. I was thinking about how much money it cost. I was stalling in making any new purchases. Within that, it really would help me decide if I really wanted to bring the new item into my space and into my closet, and if I would actually wear it. And another way that I found my voice within my low buy was within myself. All throughout this, I'm really learning to develop my own self-confidence, my own sense of style. I'm learning to walk taller and stand taller and just be confident in who I am instead of relying on my stuff to bring me that confidence and to bring me that sense of security that I'm looking for. All of that was within myself, and my low buy really helped me learn that. That's also something that I'm continuing to work on this year. I have a far way to go, but I definitely am leaps and bounds further than I ever would have been had I not done this low buy. And the final way that my low buy has changed my life this year is that I found a community. I got to meet so many of you guys in real life, online. You guys send me messages, you ask me questions, we have conversations with each other. And I have really found that there is a place for people who want to change their relationship with stuff, with money, and just change their habits for the better in order to create a life that they want from themselves, by themselves, for themselves. I never would have found this community had I not started sharing my journey in this low buy year, and had I not decided to do this low buy year to begin with. I think you'll find that if you do decide to do a low buy, there are plenty of places that you can reach out and find a community to help support you in times of struggle and to lift you up in times of victory. And that to me is an amazing, unbelievable thing that I didn't know would come out of this, and I am so thankful for it. There are a lot of low buy beauties, low buy babes, and low buy dudes that I am inspired by every single day. I will leave some other creators and YouTubers that you guys can check out down below if you're interested in cultivating even more of a community in this low buy. So those are the ways that my low buy year has changed my life. So to answer your question, yes, I will be continuing my low buy into 2020 and into the foreseeable future. My low buy is no longer about a year-long challenge that has a stop and a start date. It is now a lifestyle for me. It's something that I need to think about and maintain and struggle with every single day, but it's something that I don't want to stop, and it's something that I want to get better at every single day. So I hope some of these ways that the low buy has changed my life has convinced you to try a low buy or a no buy yourself. So leave me a comment down below and let me know if you are planning to do a low buy or a no buy this coming 2020. Let me know what your goals are and maybe your reason why. And we can all keep each other motivated and ready to go down below in the comments. If you like this video and want to see more, please hit subscribe. I would love to see you back. Happy New Year, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.